Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Wrestle Plug YouTube channel. It is time to review WWE Clash at the Castle. I am your host, proprietor, and owner of Wrestle Plug, King of Shithousery, AC, and the Egyptian Death Machine that is also known as Aeron Nix. Joining me is one half of the incredible Indian tag team that is Tan and Veer. It's Tanvir.
Hello.
Very good. I like that. Very good.
And the man who puts wood in Bollywood, he is indeed the man who accompanied me, no less, as well as chauffeured me to Clash at the Castle. And of course, I speak for everyone when I say I'm incredibly grateful for the opportunity. Is, of course, the man who is like a fridge freezer, the man who drinks a Bacardi Breezer, the man who is the consensual anti-line teaser, Ebeneeza, the full-time Goozer.
How we doing, fellas? We all right?
I'm alive. That'll do. That'll do, pig. That'll do,
pig.
Right, Ebeneezer's got lemon chicken coming up, so that means, of course, that we need to crack on and discuss Clash at the Castle. Now, Tanvir wasn't there because he's a cretin, but on the upside, he did watch the entire pay-per-view because he is a trooper. So that means he's more than welcome to chat about Clash at the Castle with us. Quickly, just to cover the pre-show, six-man tag, Madcap Moss, yawn, and his tag team partners, the Street Profits, overcame the incredible trio that is the Alpha Academy and Austin Theory. Decent enough.
Yeah, it was a good match, to be fair. I quite enjoyed it, and it was nice to see Madcap Moss put a little bit in there as well. Obviously, he's like you say, he's not the best or like the most enthusiastic wrestler in the world, but yeah, I thought he done pretty well. Everyone put some good skin into it. I quite enjoyed it, in all truth. Wasn't the worst one on the card.
Theory had a wicked heat as well as a heel, like probably some of the biggest heat of the entire night.
Yeah, I didn't see it, but according to Wikipedia, it went 6 minutes 30 seconds.
That's all it should go. That's probably why it wasn't bad, because it was 6 minutes and 30 seconds.
That's good.
Yeah,
no, it wasn't like bad. That wasn't like, it didn't feel rushed or anything. That everybody was able to.
No, they went out there and hit all their big moves. You got to see, the rolling German that obviously was made famous by our boy Doug Williams from Chad Gable, and Montez Ford was sick as he always is, and Madcap Moss does great power moves. Problem is, I just don't care. He's some generic body. He looks like Creator Wrestler number 3, which is one of his biggest issues. But yeah, no, it was fine. It was serviceable. And then, as if that wasn't, good enough, we then get treated to another. Well, Cameron Anderson, I believe, referred to it as a 6 women's tag team, 6-man tag match. Because he's a bit weird like that.
Yeah, he worded it correct.
Yeah, he's not here right now because he's working, because he's a gimp. But yeah, it opened up properly with the 6 women's tag team match. Of course, Bayley's team versus Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, and the magical looking Asuka, who for me was definitely the highlight of the match. She is
100.
Yeah. There's a woman who I said for many, many moons was carrying the brand, particularly through COVID, especially women's wrestling, and here she is doing so once again. Ebenezer, probably your weakest match of the night, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, unfortunately, it was the weakest. It just went on a little bit too long. Like, I really enjoyed the match itself. I thought all the wrestling was pretty good. It was nice to see Damage Control in action as a trio. I think they'll do some good stuff coming up. The heat that they were getting towards it all. But for me, the best people in the match was Io Sky and, as you say, Asuka. I had a little bit of a moment to myself when her music came on, seeing her coming out of her charisma. She's just incredible. She's by far the best women's wrestler in WWE for me.
What do you think, Tanvir?
I enjoyed it. I agree with you two. It did go a little bit too long. I would say the standouts for me in the 6 women's tag were Io Sky and Asuka, but Dakota Kai as well. I really saw Dakota Kai put in a lot of work in that match. So other than that, I'd just say it went a little bit too long. I don't like Alexa Bliss's new theme. It sounds a bit very generic as opposed to her old one.
Pop rock, isn't it? Very pop
Yeah,
rock.
same with Damage Control. I just feel the thing now with WWE themes is that they all sound very generic and they just blend all together. So they're
The new ones do, yeah. The
Yeah.
ones that have held on to their music, like Asuka, for instance, they feel like they've got that extra little bit of pizzazz, that bit of pomp and circumstance that makes it entertainment.
I feel like they're trying to make Damage Control like what the Riot Squad was. Like, sort of like trying to base it off of that, because obviously now 2 out of the 3 have gone. They needed something to replace it. And in all truth, I think if they keep going the way they are, they just need to put their own little twist on it, and they'll be absolutely fantastic. But until then, they're just the Riot Squad Part 2.
Riot Control.
No, I am also like the fact that Bailey pinned Bianca, so it sets up future title shot for Bailey against Bianca, possibly.
Yeah, the right team won. I was a little bit concerned the faces were going to win, just to kind of give it that kind of yay, one for the crowd. But it doesn't make sense. If Bianca Belair wins, she's immediately essentially buried 3 potential opponents that she could defend the title against. And obviously, we're moving towards Bailey. Most likely, is the #1 contender moving forward. And the fact that she picked up a win was quite important, I thought. It was good. It did what it did, but as I said on the night, just way too long. It was almost 20 minutes. I don't have a problem with women getting good time, but you've got to fill the time. And they didn't, as well as, like the other 2 women, in my opinion, did. Like, there was a much better story told in that one. The one thing I did enjoy most was the crowd continuously chanting for Bailey.
She hated it.
Fuck you. I'm not get in the bin. Which was great. That was probably the highlight of the whole match for me from a character standpoint. I do agree with Tanvir. I thought Dakota Kai was really good in this match, actually put in a real shift and proved that, given time and given the right pacing, could potentially be a great women's champion quite soon.
100%.
Yeah.
Marvelous stuff. We shift gears to the large erection portion of the evening, because your boy Gunther, better known as Son to Volta. Oh my days! Sheamus finally gets his chance to be a Grand Slam champion. It was almost like this match was designed. It felt. I'll tell you what. If he retired off this match, it would have been perfect in many ways. Hopefully, he won't though, because he proved that he can still go out there and have the match of the night, which is what I thought. Sheamus not successful in capturing the IC title from Gunther, but having what could be classified as very much so a 5-star match, if you are so inclined to think so.
It was incredible.
It was outstanding.
There's very few things in wrestling that get me more hyped than 2 big men just beating the crap out of each other, and this was that, but at the best level. And it's like you said, if Sheamus was to retire after this, and that's what it felt like after the end of the match with the standing ovation, it felt like Sheamus was kind of saying goodbye. And the thing that I love about it was that, it was Sheamus v Gunther, but this wasn't a match just about pride. It very felt like that the Intercontinental Champion was like part of the stakes. And I love the way it opened of just them staring at each other and all the other guys just doing their stuff.
Yeah,
because it's just like
very well told.
Because it's like, okay, the other guys in our faction, then the flippy, more athletic guys, we're the 2 beasts, and we're just gonna kick the crap out of each other. So for me, arguably, it was match of the night, quite potentially best match of the year for me.
Yeah, 100% up there. The story was unbelievably told. Like, everything about that match was just perfect. Like you say, and even like they were just staring each other down, and then as soon as that bell went, that was it. They wasted no time clattering each other. That was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. I kind of wanted it at the end of like Gunther just staring at Sheamus, but also like giving him a nod, like respect of like, we say the mat is sacred. You just proved to you of like, the wrestling is sacred. So just giving him like maybe a little nod, but other than that
after the fact, hasn't he? On the dirt sheet, someone interviewed him and said, and he said that was arguably the best opponent he's had in the last 10 years.
So. Yeah, it was. There's not much more that can be said. Just if you haven't seen it, go out of your way to see it. It's a 20-minute long match, so it's easily digestible. And just the commentary, Michael Cole recently, ever since Vince has gone, I'm not gonna lie, he's like, he's like Kevin Kelly level for me now because I watched it.
Fucking dare you? I'm not having that.
Because with you guys being live, you couldn't listen to the commentary, but seeing the commentary, Michael.
That's why I enjoyed it so much because I didn't have to listen to Cole screaming like a prepubescent cunt.
Michael Cole was great. I don't. Byron Saxton did nothing. He was just kind of there.
So Byron Saxton was Byron Saxton then,
yeah, pretty much.
Okay,
but Michael Cole told the story really well, references and stuff. So not much more can be said. It was a really great match.
I'm going to cop a lot of abuse for this, but I feel like Byron Saxton might be the whitest black man I've ever seen. There's something about him that just screams. Like I don't know if anyone's seen bad lip reading on YouTube, but there's a really good one where Tom Brady's shouting at somebody, and it looks like he's screaming, "Oh, I'm white," and that's how it feels with Byron Saxton. Like the way he behaves, like he's just so cretinously fucking fake in every sense. Like just fucking shit, mate. It's like he doesn't even fulfill the color commentator role well because you've got Corey Graves there, and Corey Graves is so good at his job, and I just think he's literally there just to be the mark, and he's there almost for the kids. The kids are like, yeah, I believe what Byron says. It's like, shut up, you little gimp. Nobody cares what you think. And that's kind of the same with Byron Saxton. Like children, he has a place, but it's nowhere near anything that I love, and he can get in the fucking bin.
Yeah.
So very useless. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna watch it back. If I do, I'll watch it back with the interview.
Silence.
Oh
yeah, I might just watch it. I might just watch it on mute and then do the comment myself because it was that good, and I don't want it tainted by Michael Cole and his gimp-like features. Yeah, I also particularly enjoyed the. I don't know if you watched it live, Tanvir, but there was a fan behind Ludwig Kaiser giving it the old.
Yeah, I saw that.
That was brilliant.
That was great.
Yeah, and obviously we saw, I think his name's Giovanni now. Used to be
Giovanni Vici.
So yeah, he's brilliant, world-class worker, insane talent as well. And the fact that Imperium have kind of reborn now and reformed on the main roster is good news for mainstream television like Raw and SmackDown. Because now you've got a legitimate heavy-hitting faction, not a bunch of gimps like the Dork Order. So, yeah, no, good stuff. Can't complain. 5-star as far as I'm concerned. Phenomenal. I imagine Meltzer probably gave it 2.5 though, because it wasn't in Tokyo. So, but it is what it is. I thought it was fucking phenomenal. The match following is always going to struggle when you have a match like that. And I felt really bad for the ladies because Liv Morgan went out and retained her title against Shayna Baszler in what I thought was an excellent match. It was only 11 minutes, so it didn't go too long. It didn't drag out. The crowd are really invested in Liv overcoming this kind of menacing Shayna Baszler, but they were also quite flat because they'd just given all of their emotional challenge, all of their emotional energy to that incredible match beforehand. So it was kind of in the death spot, but still delivered excellently.
It was good. It wasn't amazing because I've watched it. It wasn't amazing, but the story was really well told. It was like a good, easy watch, and the pace that they went at, it was good because after you just had the amazing Gun for Sheamus, it was a really nice pace. Only issue with it was I think the finish, the Oblivion Liv hit on Shayna did look a bit weak, but other than that, it was a fine match. It was a really good after that good middle match of okay, and then into the next match. So it was a fine match. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, see, this was the match I was looking most forward to on the card because I'm a massive fan of Liv Morgan's. I think she's a fantastic wrestler. And the face says it all, losing breath already. But no, and not only that, after coming off the back of beating Ronda Rousey, it was nice to see her up against another well-trained MMA fighter and a legitimate fighter to see how she can go up against it. And I thought, like you say, the story was very well told. It was a great story. It was good to see Liv getting arm bars and stuff in there as well, just to play her at her own game. Like you say, the finish might have been a little bit stale, but at the end of the day, they got over what they were supposed to do, and I thought it was a fantastic match still. I thought the match itself was pretty fucker.
Yeah, I loved it. Thought it was great. Liv Morgan's facial expressions are great. She sells really well. She always looks like she's in trouble. Shayna Baszler is so underrated. It was lovely to see her finally get that big. Like, I know she wrestled at WrestleMania, but it was the COVID mania, and then she had bit part matches since then. So for her to actually go out there and have a big stadium-like show was very, very cool. That was it proved that she belongs on big pay-per-views.
Oh
yeah, 100%.
I loved Corey Graves mentioning on commentary Shayna's trained by Billy Robinson, because it's like, oh yeah, we're in the UK. I was like, thank God somebody mentioned Billy Robinson. Like somebody had to, because Billy Robinson.
Byron Saxton didn't give us the lowdown on Billy Robinson. What a surprise!
He did nothing. He is
nothing.
Yeah.
He's a fucking gimp. Honestly, like, even Jerry Lawler, who is fucking rotten now compared to how great he admittedly was back in the Attitude Era, even he brings something to the table, even if it's just gravitas from being a legend. Whereas Byron Saxton is literally a gimp in a suit. Like, he's just he's a fucking mannequin. Utterly pointless.
It should have just been a two-man, like, it should have just been Cole and Graves, because honestly, it
should have been Nigel McGuinness and Andy Ward, really.
Yeah.
Especially being a Briton, that would have really sort of set the bar high, and then have Corey Graves maybe as the American sort of insert there to kind of help, translate what might not necessarily.
Why wasn't Nigel McGuinness anywhere in sight for this card? Now that you mentioned it, that's really
a power wank, mate. I don't know. Like, I like Nigel McGuinness.
I love my.
He was really great as part of NXT and obviously 205 Live as well. And then he's been doing NXT UK, which is now defunct, as it all said goodbye the other night at Worlds Collide, which is, by the way, definitely worth a watch. It was. It's disappointing that he's not on it, but we don't know. They may have asked him, and he may have said, "No, you're all right, mate. I'm pretty chill just watching it." So we don't really know. I'm not going to speculate like a lot of these dirt sheets do, but I thought it was a great women's title match, and it proved that Liv Morgan actually has value as a champion, not just being a pretty young woman. She also can actually work, and one of the big things that's being levied against her is she can't wrestle as well as the other women. That's a little unfair. I think that she can wrestle better than quite a few of the women, and she can also hold her own against high-end talents. And it was nice that instead of just going down the route of Shayna Baszler batters her and then she kind of sneaks a win like she did against Rousey, they actually let her go out there and work a proper match. She got offense in and she looked good for it. So
she reminds me of NXT Sami Zayn, of where it's like she's the constant underdog going into her own title matches, but she'll put in the work. So
yeah, exactly. Speaking of putting in the work, doesn't matter how old he is, he's still one of the best of all time. The tag team match was up next. Edge and Rey Mysterio, the Hall of Famers, versus the revamped Judgment Day with Rhea Ripley at ringside. Obviously, Dominic Mysterio was at ringside, and it's certainly probably the biggest talking point from this incredible match. It has to be said, actually. Good.
It was a fantastic. We thought this was going to be the weakest match, to be fair, didn't we? But it completely surprised us with how good the match was, and with the very good twist at the end. I fucking called a heel turn as well. I called it.
Yeah, it feels like it's been a long time coming for Dominic with his heel turn. Just quickly, Edge's entrance is something you got to experience live. Like, it's got an incredible energy. Like, the crowd were ferociously behind him. Sick entrance gear as well, with the mask as well.
Yeah, that mask was unreal.
Have Alter Bridge ever played it live for Edge's entrance?
No, they have been on a Raw with him once before.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I was going to say
they never played him to the ring live, which is disappointing. But then it wouldn't have made sense because they also sing the Judgment Day's entrance thing. Yeah. So it's that thing of like, he actually went out of his way to get Alter Bridge in place for the Judgment Day thing, and then they pulled the rug out from underneath after 5 weeks, because they were like, oh no, we don't have any baby faces because everyone keeps getting cropped. But the match was great, and then obviously the big talking point is Dominic Mysterio Edge in his nuts, and then obviously clotheslining his stupid little gimp dad in the face.
What a clothesline.
I have to be honest, easily the most interesting thing he's done since he became a wrestler on WWE. Like, I don't dislike him, but he's bland, and this actually gives me intrigue in him. Although he needs to lose that stupid fucking mullet.
No.
If he could grow a beard, the mullet would work, but it's just he doesn't, so that the mullet doesn't look right.
No, he is literally just an older version of Dustin from Stranger Things when he had a mullet. It works. It works, man.
You're not wrong.
Big
You're
fan
not
of the
wrong.
mullet.
Yeah, well,
Did you guys see though? I don't know if it was in the Tron of when Finn Balor was thrown into the crowd. He landed in front of his mum and dad, and they were laughing at him.
Well,
yeah, there's a moment.
Yeah,
That's worth the 2,400, isn't it? Fucking hell.
yeah.
But as a match itself, I thought the match was again like every match on that card was very well told. This like being like an absolute standout point, and I thought it was very clever how they worked the heel turn in there as well. Not that he done it during the match, but afterwards with Ray and Edge like buddying up together, besties hugging each other, leaving Dominic on the side for him to just rile himself up and just go, nah, bollocks to you, old cunt.
Yeah, loved it. I love the meme that's going around as well of all of the free Judgment Day laughing their ass off after Dominic turned. They're all like,
oh, I tell you what, that's a fantastic meme as well. That was very well done by them three.
Yeah, that's great. That's where WWE's camera work is second to none. When they get stuff like that, a lot of companies would have missed that, or they'd have to put it in and post edit. They're always on the money with stuff like that. That was an absolute money shot. And yeah, I must admit, I haven't watched Raw yet. I'm going to watch that later tonight, but I'm intrigued to see what Dominic's going to do going forward, because I don't think he still needs somebody around him. I don't think he can just be by himself. He can have his blow off rivalry with his dad. Maybe wrestling Edge will be good for him because he'll learn a lot from the process, but long term he's going to need to be with somebody, because I don't think he can hang by himself as a heel.
So you remember Eddie China, right? That's basically what they're doing with Dominic and Rhea.
Yeah. Like, quick side note, when you talk about the camera work, just before we get to the next match, if I'm correct in thinking, Tanvir, would you know, was there a steel cage match tonight?
No.
With Bobby Lashley and The Miz, or was that?
There was. Yeah, it was with the flipping Dexter Loomis. That was incredible.
Don't say. I was about to say. I was about to say
the memes.
Yeah, I was about to say, Amir, when you watch that match just for the camera work, you will fucking piss yourself laughing, because I was dying earlier. It's fantastic how they've worked it.
Since Dexter Loomis has come back, he's immediately been made more interesting through WWE's camera work of like just sneaking him in the back or through little bits. They generally make
basically what Amir does to me in that every poster, just put me in the back somewhere.
Yeah, it has to be done. I like what they're doing with Loomis. I'm intrigued, but I'm liking what they're doing with everyone. The fact that Gargano's on Raw as well is sick as well. So yeah, no, it's but it was a great tag match, and it finally kind of gave us something to show an interest in Dominic Mysterio about, because up until this point, I feel like it has been, frankly, very, very subpar. The penultimate match of the night, Seth freaking Rollins defeats Matt Riddle with a second rope curb stomp, while also wearing an astonishing tribute to Elton John.
He's a Rollins fan.
Yeah, like it was. Yeah, like obviously you would have heard it when you were watching it. The crowd were raucously behind Seth Rollins just because of the chant. And also, I didn't feel like Matt Riddle really was that popular anyway. If you remove all that stuff, I felt like he was kind of like, which is surprising because in America he is. But in Britain, the fans weren't as cognizant towards him. But
no, they didn't really care about him.
Loving the heels, don't they? They have a habit of kind of being a bit shithousery and smarty, and that was very evident in this match.
With the Rollins' entrance, it's like, okay, his theme initially is a bit generic, but what's made it is the crowd interaction. That's what's
everyone was going with it, and that was absolutely.
That's the money shot of the night. We're talking about video shots. The shot where they're looking at Rollins doing that, and then it blurs, and you see everyone in the background chanting and going mad. This absolutely bananas.
Yeah, this match done its role though of being a great story of two guys who hate each other, but also the athletic spectacle that people thought it would be.
The sports entertainment match of the night. This was for people who are hardcore fans of WWE style wrestling, along with the main event. Like the last two very much felt like what modern wrestling is and what WWE sees modern wrestling as going forward. More of a TV spectacle than an athletic spectacle. It had loads of great wrestling in it, but ultimately you were intrigued about the storyline. Was Randy Orton going to turn up? No, he didn't, but there was plenty of nods to him. There was nods to Triple H as well. Obviously, Rollins hitting Riddle with his finisher was very cool, with the Gotch neutralizer, which obviously Cameron Anderson has bastardized quite greatly in the bromance. So I liked it. Yeah, I liked it, but it didn't,
very good match.
It didn't hit the WrestleMania level for me. I didn't feel like
I get that too.
So, it felt like a good match, not a great match. Not like it was one of those things. It could have been world class, and instead it almost felt like they're holding a little bit back from us.
It feels like one of those matches that's like setting up, and then as the feud goes on, it'll end in a Hell in a Cell. Because I feel with Seth Rollins now, he's the very much go-to Hell in a Cell guy, because you had the amazing match with Edge, you had a pretty good one with Cody, so I think Rollins is their go-to guy now. Of like,
you mentioned Norman the Fiend, I would have yeeted you off this podcast.
No.
It's one of those things where they've got more and more people coming in. I did notice there was a big return on Raw, although he immediately fell over, which I found very amusing. But it's one of those things where there's plenty of opportunity now to build good rivalries, but they can circle it around these two who feel like they've got the blood rivalry going until you've got Cody cleared to come back, who will no doubt probably want to get some sort of revenge on Rollins, even though times the kayfabe answer is that he is.
I'm gonna throw it out there. I think Cody is gonna win Royal Rumble.
I hope he does.
Yeah, I think Cody. If he's cleared and he's able to do it, I think Cody's gonna
on Mansoir, mate.
Where were those guys? Why weren't they coming over for the 6-man? They would have.
That was another good thing. That was another good thing they'd done on the weekend. Was before every match they had done like the little video homage to how things were built up, and they'd done a little homage video to Cody. And I thought every single video hit the money just before
the Cody one was good. The Becky one I enjoyed.
That was good.
Cool. Yeah.
But even like leading up to all the matches and like telling you the rivalry beforehand, because people like me, I don't watch Raw and SmackDown religiously. I don't tend to watch these pay-per-views or whatever. So to watch that and to understand why these rivalries were happening, I thought it was very, very well told. Very well done. Top WWE.
Getting to see the production value for yourself is really special, like especially in a big pay-per-view like this. This is no doubt the biggest show that we'll have and have had for 30 years. And hopefully
for now.
But I mean, like, it's one of those things, you gotta build up to it. And we've been patient enough to wait this long. So hopefully this has been the proof in the pudding. And the main event kind of screams that, with the celebrity involvement as well. It's Roman Reigns, our God and Savior, our Lord and Mighty of all wrestling, the greatest professional wrestler ever, and also the natural predecessor for the role as Aquaman, defending his title successfully against Drew McIntyre, courtesy of a large amount of shenanigans. We had the debuting on the main roster, at least, of Solo Sikoa, who was because obviously the Usos couldn't make it over. They wrote that into the story really well, that they got decked on SmackDown, so they couldn't make it over because they were injured. But obviously the reason for that is because I believe it's Jimmy Uso cannot obviously fly because he's a convicted felon because of the DUIs and stuff. So it's like, probably best if we keep that guy off. But then obviously you had Tyson Fury knocking out Austin Theory, which was incredible.
That was a great moment.
Box of the night, and also just a great intro, because everyone was assuming he was going to try and stitch up Drew.
It was just very well told. Very well told.
I had Roman winning until I heard Broken Dreams, and then I was like, I think Drew's winning, and then he didn't, and I was like, the fact that the Broken Dreams video was incredible, though. I love how they showed Drew's journey. And
again, the amount of spears that were in the match, the amount of claymores, like we were on our edge of our seats every single time, thinking this is it, kept kicking out, and then you obviously had fucking Theory coming in to cash in and got wiped out straight away. That was a fantastic one. And then you had Solo Sikoa come in, and as soon as he hit that and got the 3, me and Aeron sort of looked at each other, was like, that can't be the finish, surely. But it was very well told, very perfect.
I think what makes that main event so special is I'll be interested to see what Tanvir thinks of it from a TV perspective, because for me, being in a state, that's a match you have to see in a stadium. You have to see in person. If you're watching on TV, you will enjoy it, but you're not getting the same level of energy. Everyone around us is freaking out. As Ebeneeza, I was losing my fucking marbles for Solo Sikoa. Like, a lot of people thought he was one of the Usos because he does look just like his brothers.
Until you see he's blonde.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
That was the
when
thing.
he took the hood down, I was like, "Who is this guy?" And Amir was like, "It's Solo Sikoa."
It was.
Oh no!
It was a really great match. Looking at the time of it, 30 minutes. Did not feel that. It did not feel
it did
30
for
minutes.
me. Like, I think
feel like it went on. Yeah.
Alone, the entrances must have been at least 10 minutes for entrances. That was a long end.
Yeah. When you factor those in as well, because obviously if you're at home, you can have a cup of tea or whatever while the entrances are going on and all that sort of stuff.
No, I was in
the stadium. It's like, including all the stuff with the singing afterwards and that. It's the best portion of an hour. It does drag on, but because the show started at 6 o'clock, we were still out before 10, which is very cool.
It finished at 9:30, and I'm like, I would watch this 2-3 times more than All Out.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm not even talking about that because we haven't talked about wrestling here. But it's one of those things where I
watched 2 matches from All Out, but
fucking 14, 15 match card. Get in the bin, right?
Because we had a 3-hour drive home, and that was tough.
Yeah, with all the traveling, I'm kind of grateful that it wasn't one of those ones that went on till like 11:30, like some of the old York Hall shows that we used to do,
fucking hell
as well. Like, fuck me, some of them used to overrun at crazy lengths, and it's great. I'm grateful that we got the whole weekend as well, because we had Worlds Collide as well, and that was on at a decent time. That started at 9 o'clock, so everything kind of felt very catered for the English audience. It was almost like, hey, this weekend is dedicated to you, the English fans, and you know what? The Americans can take the fucking hit for once, because we're the ones who are normally up till 5 in the fucking morning watching this shit. Quite nice.
I forgot Adrian Street being shown was awesome.
Yeah, Adrian Street was at ringside, which is incredible anyway. Anyone who's watched any of Adrian Street's work from back in the day, the original flamboyant wrestler, you look at guys like Goldust and stuff like that, they're all kind of modeled on his style. He was the first man to kind of go out there. One of his famous lines is, I see a lot of disgusting, ugly, beer-swilling rednecks in the audience, and the men don't look too great either. It's one of those sort of things of like, he was always and he's Welsh as well. And that thing of like, name me a prominent Welsh wrestler, before him or even after him to a certain extent. We've had some great wrestlers, but none of them have been on his level and found that level of notoriety at the same time. He pressed all the buttons at a time when you weren't allowed to push those kind of buttons. Like you weren't, it wasn't acceptable to come out and be camp or gay or over-sexualized. And, men were supposed to be men. And he was like, I can be a man, but I can also absolutely wind you up.
Also, I saw for Roman and Drew, I think before even the show, it's a picture of Roman in a ring with Paul Heyman, Michael Hayes, and Bret Hart, and it's like, they're talking about the match.
One of these is not like the other. Michael Hayes just standing there, stoned off his tits, wearing his kimono. He's a riot, that boy. Fun. I love that. My favorite Michael Hayes story will always be the one where he had his ponytail cut off on the plane ride from hell. And then it was pinned up on the wall on the notice board by X-Pac, and he also apparently tried to piss on Linda because he was so drunk he couldn't even see her, which is just utterly amazing. I mean, to be honest, after what Linda's done with Donald Trump and stuff, she probably deserves to be pissed on at this point. But we're not here for the fetish portion of Wrestle Blog, we're here for the wrestling. Overall, obviously, at the end of the match, you get the Tyson Fury singing thing. A lot of fallout on social media. All the Twitter nerds, the wrestle dorks, were having a little whinge. Why is he singing? Oh, it's like, because you don't get it, because you don't watch the boxing. But if you watch the boxing, you get it. If you understood who Tyson Fury was, you get it. He is quintessentially British.
My favorite tweet of that before I leave you, gents, was someone turned around and they said, "Why is an Irish man singing an American song to a Scottish man in a Welsh country?"
Multiculturalism.
Wrestling.
Immigration is live and well.
Oh my god, yes.
I think that's a good place to leave it, to be honest, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Let us know what you thought of Clash at the Castle. Leave your comments below so we can have a little chat about it. Thank you very much to Ebeneeza for everything you did this weekend. Thank you very much to Tanvir for joining us to chat about it. State of Wrestling Address we'll talk about a few more of the more sort of, personalized moments and things like that and all the little stories and memories. So make sure you check that out. That'll be dropping near the end of this week. We've also got my shoot interview dropping within a week, which is very interesting. And then I'll be doing another one with some might say an even better host. Vincent Van Gogh, fuck yourself. It's a good one. It's definitely worth the watch. But from the boys, thank you very much for watching. We hope you enjoyed Clash of the Castle as much as we did. And we'll catch you very soon for more content from the Wrestle Club.
Sayonara, butt pluggers.
Bye.